It's been on my mind to do this video. I've been thinking about it, been itching and just eager and just burning with a passion is to say it. The person that pretends with you or pretend to be cool with you when everything is in place. Have you ever had certain people, they act like they was cool with you, but when you and all of this goes to Esau because what the so-called white man, they're using our people is to destroy each other. Purposely, they're doing it because we have to understand how the enemy operates. Here's how it works, and this is the conspiracy and everything that every so-called black person needs to hear me out. Esau, the devil the Bible speaks of, the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. I don't care what they do for you. It's all a conspiracy because they feel like, hey, if we are nice to them, then get them is to think we are the gods. And I can turn around, do this nice shit for them, then turn around and use their own people is to destroy them in a negative way. We still destroying them, but we're using their people to do it. Have you ever had one of those people that like everything was good with you? Everything was just right on the market. Everything is good. You ain't have no issues with nothing. But as soon as you lose all that shit, you beg those same people to come around, and it's like they put a slap in your face like this, telling you fuck you. They may not be physically saying it, but you, this godly person, right? You got to take and keep your composure. You can't get out of line with them. You can't tell them about themselves because you're out of order. You're not as what they call a Christian. You see what I'm saying? You're not a Christian if you do that. That's exactly what they say. If you don't say, or if you say, I don't celebrate Christmas, which I don't. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't celebrate white supremacist holidays. If you say it like that, then everybody looking at you like you totally disrespectful or something. They looking at you like you want to come out and just be disrespectful, and they coming around doing that. They gonna think you crazy. Something wrong with you. All because you ain't celebrating, or you tell them up front you don't celebrate no wicked ass holidays. They thinking that you against them, and they think you personally hate them when you don't hate your brother. You may not like what you see going down, and if they try to act like the shit don't matter, then something is not right. But as soon as you tell them something, baby, you out of order. God gonna punish you. Leave it up to God, and God gonna handle them. I think people abuse that when they say vengeance belongs to the Lord. I will repay, said the Lord. Things of that nature. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hold your peace. Let the Most High God fight your battle. Y'all heard that. We've been hearing this for years, right? I'm not saying that you're not supposed to allow God to do things and stuff. I said we've been in this captivity our whole life. And As soon as you put them, you say something and you up front, now all of a sudden now you out of place. You was wrong for that. That was evil. You see what I'm saying? That was evil, what you did. You didn't have to do that, baby. That was plumb evil. What was evil? But you got to hold your composure, though, right? You got to hold your damn composure. And if you say something against them, then everybody's gonna be looking at you, and the first thing they're gonna say, and they use one of the white supremacist words, you're mentally ill. That's a white supremacist word. You're repeating what your enemy wants you to say. Christianity. Constantine saw a vision flame of a cross in the sky, and they worshiped the sun god. Yeah, the cross in the sky. I want to compare something to what I just said to show you that we are under Christianity. The Christian church went through an incurable amount of persecution from the Roman Empire during the first 3 centuries. Most of the punishment was handed down by the local Roman authorities. The first empire to actually target Christians as a whole was the Empire of Nero. Now, this is where that shit come in at, to where these people started programming us is to start, well, you got to give it to the law, which we agree that certain things belong to the Lord. Vengeance. I'm not telling people is to go up out of here and do harm to somebody. I'm telling them that they're going to reap what they sow for what they have done to us. So if we're saying or pronouncing a judgment, it's going to come upon the nations of people that do us wrong. Then how in the hell is I'm mentally, or what they call mentally messed up? That music, man, I hate that music. I hate that music is on up in there. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, hold on. Okay, the music went off. Hopefully, it don't come back on. All right. In the summer of in the summer of 64, Roman sufferers, 64 Romans, Rome suffered a terrible fire that burnt 6 days and 7 nights, consuming almost 3 quarters of the city. The towns, the town people accused the empire of Nero for the devastating, claiming he set the fire for his own amusement. In order to reflect these accusations peacefully, the people Nero laid laid blame for the fire on the Christians. Nero considered being a Christian an act of treason and punishing by exercising Peter and Paul, the apostles, were martyred in Rome during Nero's reign. Okay? See, persecution started with the church under Nero. And I'm trying to show you this is where we get this shit from. Like, oh, now I'm not saying or encouraging or inciting violence. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. Let's look at this. This is what I was talking about. The first Christian loyalty and truth. The Bible, I mean, excuse me, not the Bible, but history. It says, then when Jesus revealed to his disciples the fate of Jerusalem and the scenes of the second advent, he foretold also the experience of his people from the time when he should be taken from them to his return and power and glory for their deliverance. From Olive, the Savior beheld the storms about to fall upon the apostate church, and the penetrating deeper into the future. His eyes discerned the fierce, wasting temples that were to beat upon his followers in the coming ages of darkness and persecution. In a few brief utterance of awful significance, he foretold of the portion which the rulers of this world would mete out to the church of God. Matthew's chapter 24 and verses 9, Matthew's 21, 22. The followers of Christ must treat the same path of humanity, reproach, and suffering which their master trotted. The enemy that burst forth against the world's redeemer would be manifested against all who should believe on his name. The history of the early church testified to the fulfillment of the Savior's words. The powers of the earth and hell arrayed themselves against Christ and the person of his followers. Paganism foresaw that should the gospel triumph, her her temples and altars would be swept away. Therefore, she summoned her forces to destroy Christianity. The, the, the fires of persecution was kindled. Christians were stripped of their possessions and driven from their homes. They endured a great fight of affliction. Hebrews 10:32. They had the trial of cruel mockings, and scourging, yet moreover of bonds of imprisonment. Hebrews 11:36. Great numbers sealed their testimony with their blood. Noble and slain, rich and poor, learned and ignorant were like slain without mercy. These persecutions began under Nero. That's what I was looking up. Under Nero. About the time of the martyrdom of Paul, Christians were with greater or less fury for centuries. Christians were falsely accused of the most dreadful crimes and declared to be the cause of great calamities, famines, pestilence, and earthquakes, as they became the object of the popular hatred and suspicious and information stood ready for the sake of gain to betray the innocent. They were condemned as rebels against the empire, as foes of religious and perils to society. Great numbers were thrown to wild beasts or burned alive in the amphitheaters. Some were crucified, others were covered with the skins of wild animals and thrust into the arena to be torn by dogs. Now, our people, this is how they beat our nationality up out of us. They beat things out of us and had us doing things. And like we're so used to persecution, we're so used to being done wrong to until we just say, oh, well, we're going to let the Most High deal with it. Or we're going to let the Most High deal, which we're not saying that we're not letting the Most High deal with our problems. We're not saying that. That's not what we're advocating. We're just advocating that a lot of we have been conditioned under these pagan holidays. That's what I basically wanted to come and say. We have been conditioned is to follow all these pagan customs, these Christmas holidays and stuff like that. You have to go back and hit a reading that I done. I already did it. I read from this book here. I don't agree with everything in it, but I read. But you go back and you can see it on your spare time or whatever. You know, it was a little bit. But the ones that pretend is most dangerous. The people that pretend with you, and I read a little bit of it, how we have got under the witchcraft of this Christianity for so long until we believe we're to the point in our lives until everything that people do to us, we take it as looking like wrong to tell somebody, hey, look, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to stand to be mistreated. I'm not going to stand to allow this Christianity doctrine is to destroy me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead on. I'm going to stop this right now, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to talk a little bit later, man. I'm out.